She spoke up and nobody was arrested. She spoke up and got kicked out of school. She was only 7 years old when she got violated both in the front and in the back at school, a place where it is supposed to be her safe haven and a sanctuary of the whole. The principal is refusing to give in his sample because apparently this is a publicity stunt.
If it was a black man that refuses to provide samples to the police in order for us to find the predator that assaulted a 7-year-old girl, that black man would be arrested by now. And then AfriForum defending and protecting a man that is obstructing justice.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren
and I'm Maureen.
Right. So guys, in today's episode, it's going to be an awareness episode to let you know what is happening currently in South Africa, and it's a very, very unfortunate incident, and I feel like we have to warn you that this is quite disturbing. So for some of you who might be triggered by this episode, okay, I would encourage you, if you can sit through it, you listen to where you can and you help where you can, because there's a petition going on around for people to sign. Yeah,
right. And this is to seek justice for a 7-year-old girl who was taken advantage of while she was in school, and a palm-colored man who is the principal of that school refused to submit his test from last year, and this family has not gotten justice.
Right.
But right now this case is going very viral on social media, and the whole of Africa are supporting South Africans in their quest for justice for this girl.
Right. So guys, just allow us to play the videos we put together for you so that you can get the context of what is happening. And I also want to mention that I don't think today we'll be posting any other episode because we want to bring as much attention to this case as possible.
And I would also like to beg all of you to please take a minute after you've watched this video. For those of you who have a TikTok account, go to TikTok and search the hashtag justice for Kwekwe, which is her name, the name of the little girl, right? And you can also repost as many videos as you can from this hashtag, and also add on hashtags of the comment justice for Kwekwe on the comment sections of the videos you will watch.
Most importantly, remember to sign the petition.
Right.
I think we look for a link and leave it on the comment section. Yeah,
right.
So let's watch and then we get the context and then we come back and talk about it.
We need the whole world to know that AfriForum, an NGO in South Africa that mainly focuses on the interests of white Afrikaners, is willing to protect a potential predator. I need you to understand this is the same AfriForum that had the power to move Donald Trump to a point where he sanctioned South Africa because they claimed land is being confiscated from white Afrikaners. A 7-year-old black girl was sexually assaulted at school in October last year. Her mom has been looking for justice and nothing has been done about it. A white principal did not do anything about the situation, but in fact told the mother that she is trying to degrade the school's name. Not only that, he then suspended the student and refused to give his DNA during investigation. If this man thinks just because he has AfriForum behind him he's going to be able to silence a black mother's voice and a black child's justice, he has something else coming. We need the whole world to know about this. Comment justice for Kwekwe on every video you come across. It does not matter which country it's from. The same way you'll comment Nikona Zinja. That's the energy we need right now. We can't allow AfriForum to use their white privilege and constant abuse of power to silence us.
So the justice system in South Africa has proven time and time again that the only time a person can get justice in this country is if their story comes to social media. Someone, please make that make sense to me. But if what you want from us is to shout to the highest mountain, we will deliver. If what you want from us is to cause commotion and riot on social media, we will deliver. If what you want from us is to sign petitions so this child can get justice, we will deliver that, because we are so tired. We are so tired. I cannot even begin to fathom, as a mother to a 7-year-old girl, what that mother felt like when she went to that doctor's room and the doctor said, "I am sorry, ma'am, but your child has been essayed," and has been essayed at the time that she was at school. Oh, I cannot even begin to fathom. We won't be quiet. We are going to be signing petitions. I will be posting the link in my comment section. I will post it in the caption, whatever it takes, so that we can get that DNA sample of a man that was in the presence of that child at the time where she was essayed. That's all we want. But this child will get justice at the end of the day. And that is what we're going to be fighting for on this platform.
The problem is we have scary men raising even scarier boys. Because how is it that you see a 7-year-old girl, a child, as someone that you can do anything remotely sexual with? How does that work? This situation with Kwekwe is something that happens on a daily basis in South Africa. On a daily basis. In 2023 alone, there was a report done in the Eastern Cape. 45.9% of crimes reported against children was rape. And that number increases at a rapid speed. We need to understand that where are we supposed to send kids to develop their frontal lobes? Where are we supposed to send kids to where they're safe in expanding their minds and their thoughts? Because in the place where they're supposed to feel safe during the day, when their parents are paying a fee to send them to these schools and they're being assaulted? Excuse me. This story has so many elements to it. The fact that the mother had to come to social media to find any kind of justice for her child is something that baffles. The justice system in South Africa constantly fails its victims. And it takes us coming to social media to sign petitions, to yell at the top of TikTok, in order to say the rants on Twitter, in order for you guys to say, okay, we're gonna shut the school down. That school was supposed to be shut down the day a child was reported to be raped in that school. It's been months. You're only shutting it down now because the story is gaining traction. There were 2 men that came into contact with her that day, right? In the time frame where this situation happened. Those 2 men willingly gave their samples to the police. The principal of this school is refusing to give his samples because it's a publicity thing. Excuse me, sir. Come here. Publicity. There was a child assaulted in your school. You are worried about publicity. Shut the fuck up. In the statement that the Department of Education wrote, it says, the department is concerned with the conduct of the school principal in relation to his apparent refusal to cooperate with the South African Police Service. The department views the case in a serious light and has sought to take action in the interest of all learners at the school. The department has therefore taken a decision to withdraw the registration of Bergview College as a school in the province. So they're going to separate the learners that are in that school to other neighboring schools. There's a petition that I need you guys to sign. I'm going to try and put the link inside my bio. I'm also going to put it in the comment section. I'm going to add it on my caption. Hell, DM me and I'll send you the link. It's time for us to take the story to the top. Listen, if you're a content creator, make a video. If you're not a content creator, make a video. We need to ask certain people to be held accountable. How does a child go to school and come back assaulted? No. The same resources you use to investigate the people there at Zanzu, to investigate people being shot at Solo, to investigate all these crimes, I expect the same energy with this child.
That child would never be the same again.
When and where will the girl child ever be safe in South Africa?
Kwekwe has been harmed.
When she got violated both in the front and in the back.
She was just 7 years old, was violated.
Her childhood has been fast forwarded.
My heart is so heavy.
How do we help the situation?
All I want is justice for Mtana.
If we stand together, our voices will be heard.
We will be their voices.
And I'm adding my voice. Justice for Kwekwe.
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 And justice to Kwekwe.
Justice for Kwekwe.
Justice for Kwekwe.
Justice for Kwekwe.
No one deserves their spirit and their dignity to be taken through the form of which Kwekwe's was taken. Nobody. And it happens continuously because even the system is designed to take from people so that those people can be rehabilitated. There is no rehabilitation for the monstrosity. Buloyi. Mukateng for 5. That's it. We want to see that change. Justice for Kwekwe. We want to see justice. Not to just lock him away. No. Mukateng for 5. Take the same dignity that they took from somebody else, forcefully so, exercising their power.
Yeah, this is a big red flag. I mean, to end your story with how you absolutely disgusted about crime against women and children, but listen, the child should have said who the person is, but now we know that the child, it sounds like the child most likely was drugged. So now what? But also another thing is, when you look at Barry Bateman's statement, it's so odd that they're handling it this way, that AfriForum's private prosecution unit is actually handling it this way. So first of all, they reject the claims that they are protecting a rape suspect. Secondly, which is fair, okay, but then they also indicate that the reason their client actually refused to give the sample is because the request came from the investigating officer, but it was at request of the mother. And then they also say that if he did give a sample, then that would make him look like a suspect. The way they've handled this, there's also an entire another section where they are saying, you know what, she was in two places, at home and at the school too. It's very odd the way they've handled this. I mean, if I was Petersa, I would just do the DNA test and get it over and done with. Not only that, I would suggest that all other males that were at the school at the time also undergo it, so that you can actually just be eliminated as a suspect. It's simple. But also, AfriForum is saying he's not a suspect, or he was never a suspect, and the Minister of Police says there were 3 suspects. Okay, they gave statements, and the Minister of Police also said that there were DNA tests. But now, obviously, if you look at AfriForum's information, there was no DNA test for Peterson. This whole thing is handled very badly. I had no idea why the principal would have called in AfriForum to assist with this issue. I would have just given the DNA, but that's just me.
So we've just learned that in Eastern Cape School, where a 7-year-old pupil was raped, has been deregistered. I wasn't too familiar with the story. It's beyond infuriating, and what's adding to the outrage is the fact that the school did absolutely nothing to help the parents, who understandably wanted answers as to what happened to their little girl. According to the department, as an independent school, which the school is, it's supposed to create a safe and secure environment for learners. And evidently, the school failed to do that, and that's grounds for a deregistration. And so now they're going to start the process of placing the pupils in other schools. Interestingly, I read an article where they quoted the little girl's mother, and she says she eavesdropped. It was a conversation between the little girl and her father, and he was asking her about the day this actually happened. And on that day, the transport guy came much later than usual. She says she was with the caretaker of the school, and he asked her to sweep, and she was sweeping, I'm guessing a classroom. And then at some point, she started getting really tired, and so she fell asleep. And then the next thing she knows, she's being wakened up by the caretaker, who then tells her that the transport guy is there to fetch her. In the meantime, it's this big whodunit, where's the perpetrator, and why wasn't the school of any help?
From Kenyans to South Africans, we say justice for Twetwe, because I've been sitting here following this story from God knows what time. How would you do this to a 7-year-old? A 7-year-old girl. I have an 8-year-old niece, and I'm telling you, if anyone would do and harm my niece like that, I would circumnavigate this world to find them. Because you cannot tell me this kid would come back home with an anus as big as a tissue roll. She was home after hours. They sent us to go sweep at God knows what time. And when the mother found out about this, if you want to listen to the whole story, I've just shortened it. If you want to listen to the whole story, go to Julia Madibogo's whatever. I'm going to tag her here. When the mother went to report this to the principal after she found out what happened to the daughter, do you know the principal said? You should stop spreading rumors. You should stop spreading rumors. You should not, I don't know what. This is a story that the principal should be running with to the Ministry of Education. should be the first in line to go and report. And allegedly, the principal has refused to do DNA test. There is the caretaker, there is the driver, and there is the principal. I think these are the three people who are around that time with this girl. And I think she was sent to go sweep, God knows what. I'm still following up. But as an aunt, soon to be a mother, and I know there are mothers here, and you know how painful this is. And then you're going to report to the principal, and the first thing the principal says is, you should stop spreading rumors, you should stop destroying the name of the school. And the Ministry of Education gets to hear this from this woman's friend. It's not even the principal, who should have been the first person. And there's this wise girl who's in this demonstration who asked one very good question. She asked, who cleaned this girl up? Because it's a 7-year-old who's been penetrated in both holes. Who cleaned this girl up? That is a lot of blood. Yes, gender. We are standing with South Africans on this one. You need to tell us who did this to this girl. The girl didn't, I know your question, the girl did not say anything. I think allegedly she was drugged when this happened. That young girl, she was too young for this. She was too young.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode you just played in the comment section. One thing I have to say is that I feel like for the most part of it, palm colored people in Africa get away with a lot of things. Why am I saying this? Because there was a case of a missionary. We had done it previously on our channel, I think sometime last year. Yeah, we might leave the link for those who are interested in watching. This palm colored man was a missionary who came into a country in Africa, married a woman despite having another wife in the US, and then he attempted to unalive her. When it started, his relationship with the young lady started causing scandals, and this man went, he escaped, right? The justice system. I don't know if it's corruption, but I do believe that corruption had a huge hand in it, And in South Africa, I do feel like, for the most part, I feel like their laws are really letting them down, its citizens, especially children, young kids, both boys and girls, because this is not the first case we are hearing. There's a lot of cases that, there was a documentary, I think we look for the name, that was talking about how kids are being abused in South Africa, but for some reason, these abusers keep getting away, this situation keeps growing big, and you know what makes this whole case even worse, why people are very angered by this case is, late last year when it happened, this principal could have helped expedite, right? He could have helped expedite the investigation by submitting all his male co-workers to the police station so that they all could submit their samples, because at the end of the day, this child was abused when she was in school, and for the people who were around her, especially the male colleagues who were around her, they could have submitted their DNAs, which the caretaker and one other person did submit their DNA, but only one person refused to submit their DNA, and this was the principal of the school. And this led to the school educational board cancelling the license of the school to practice because he could not submit his DNA. My question is, if he's innocent, why is he making it so hard for the investigation process to progress? I feel like to some extent, if this happened to this child and the child ended up being expelled for a mistake that wasn't even hers, it wasn't even her fault. Exactly. Whatever happened to her, yet she ended up being expelled from the school. For what reason? Because the parents were asking for justice, and they were asking questions that the principal did not want to answer. And the principal, according to him, he said that they were causing a sin and tainting the name of the school. So my question is, what type of man does that? Someone who has a heart, someone who possibly has a daughter back home, someone who has a wife and a sister. Why would you do that? And this is a 7-year-old girl who went through this ordeal, and guys, we've not even scratched the surface of this because the details are very gory. And this is a child who survived this, and she has to live with this for the rest of her life. It has impacted her. She's never going to be normal. She's never going to be the same again. The way she's going to interact with boys is going to be different for her. You know what I mean? And even into adulthood, this is someone, should she ever decide to get married, she has been tainted for life, and it's going to affect how she relates with other people. You understand?
Right. And you know, the first time we heard about justice for Kwekwe, we really didn't know what it meant or what it was about, because we were watching a very different and related video, right? And then in the comment section, as we were reading, we saw 1 or 2 South Africans dropping the hashtag justice for Kwekwe, and we thought, oh, maybe it was related to the video we were watching. We are just the ones who didn't understand. And then, you know, what I like about this case is that her parents never stopped fighting for her, and this is why right now the whole of Africa knows about this case. The whole of Africa wants to know how it will be resolved and who exactly is the perpetrator who did this while this kid was supposed to be safe in the school.
I kid you not, I bet there's other children who's fallen victim to this. And let's just say Kwekwe's mom had the heart to soldier on and keep fighting for justice, because I tell you, what if there was a first ever case reported and nothing ever happened? Because Kwekwe's mom went to the police station, and they recorded the statement, nothing happened.
Done. Nobody lifted a finger, no follow-up, no nothing. They just like literally left the case as the statement recorded as it was. And further on, when pressure started to mount, this principal, this palm-colored principal, went on to hide behind this political party that is called AfriForum. You guys, you know why we say this political party AfriForum is a very problematic party in South Africa. Please guys, just go and search what they have done in South Africa, right? Because these are the very same people who not long ago were petitioning Donald Trump to help them divide South Africa for white areas and black areas, right? And these are also the very same people who are led by this man called Phil Craig, a British national who acquired citizenship in South Africa.
I don't think Phil Craig leads AfriForum. It's not he is other party, but
but they have merged. Okay, South Africans, you can clear this for us, but he is still part of this AfriForum. It has evolved, its face is changing with time, you know. So this party is just a problematic party towards black South Africans. You get what I'm saying?
Now, Africans in general, actually, I think for South Africans, this has been quite an eye-opener, because when you look at how these people are protecting each other, even when at a time when wrong has been done. So Africans right now, you should be knowing that any palm-colored person in Africa does not want the best thing for you. It will always be them first before, you know. And I think I'm getting emotional about this, so I think personally I'm going to leave it at that.
And I feel like the biggest lesson I've learned from Kwekwe's situation is when palm-colored people do things in Africa, they most often get away with it, unless black people come outside to march for that right, for these palm-colored people to be held accountable. Because had South Africans not come to the social media with the tenacity they did, had they not gone out in the streets to protest on behalf of Kwekwe and her mom, we other Africans would have never known of what is going on in South Africa right now. And right now, I really, really, really hope that this message will go further than Africa, for them to please get justice, and for the justice system in South Africa to start following up and eventually give us the person who is guilty.
No child is really safe if this perpetrator is still out in the streets, because he's walking freely. He's walking freely, and the kind of injuries that child has shows that this person has been doing this, and there's no heart left in that person.
That's just a demon walking in form of a human being.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I feel like we are going to be leaving it there. South Africans, we really wish you all the best. In any way we can get involved, we are going to be getting involved in this.
And we still stand with you, South Africans.
Yeah.
We will keep reposting on TikTok, and we will keep hashtagging the hashtag justice for Kwekwe until this case is over. Please also on your side, please do not let it die. Yeah, keep doing what you've been doing. We just wanted to tell you in this episode today say, we've seen you and we've heard you, and we hope the justice system sees you too. Yeah, the justice system in South Africa needs to do better, because perpetrator keeps getting away. Like, literally, I saw another case of a 7-year-old girl in the same school who,
allegedly went through the same situation.
Although she could point out her attacker.
She did point out her
being
attacker.
the caretaker, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Meaning
they still were saying there was no evidence. No evidence, and the victim has
pointed out
a medical report saying that what really happened to her,
and it has even indicated clearly the injuries she has obtained.
Yeah, and she has even pointed out her attacker, but still this person is not being arrested due to lack of evidence. And I'm asking myself, the justice of South Africa, like, really, are you that much against women's rights and children's rights? Because this is what the fact that victims are not being protected in such scenarios is the reason why these cases are blowing out of proportion. You know, if there was a law that was put in place to know, so that these perpetrators could know that if you do this, this is the consequence and this is what is going to happen, then I bet you and I kid you not that these cases would reduce drastically. I feel like there was a point in Africa where if it was a taboo and an abomination, if such a case would have been heard, you harmed a child like this, you wouldn't even reach at the police station.
Yeah,
the community would have taken. Exactly, the community would have taken. The community used to even up to now. I know places in Kenya that should such a case come to light,
especially in central Kenya,
yeah,
you will not even tell.
You don't even
of the story.
Exactly, you don't even breathe to see the gate or the door of a prison or a police station. You wouldn't even get that light.
But in this case, I wish this person should live a long life so that number one, he can become a social pariah. Number two, in prison, a lot of things happen.
People will take care of him. Anyway, guys, let's leave the episode at that. We'll keep following up what's going on with this case, and we also want to know who is the perpetrator, and if they're, of course, we have an idea of that, but we want to know if the perpetrator is going to be arrested, right?
So, guys, let us know what you think on the comment section, and please remember to go on TikTok and keep the hashtag alive, right? And also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.